Hey guys. So, looking a hot mess. Don't really care. Don't remember the last time I washed my hair. I think it's been probably about a week. Just putting it out there because it is a hot mess. I am going to wash it today. Um, yeah, probably a little bit swollen from some of the food that I ate last night. Even though it was pretty healthy, it did have a pretty good sodium content, so face is feeling a little round and full today. Um, but this is who I am and this is what I do. So, yeah. So, some people are on topic with what is all over the place right now. Some people are not. What do I do? I get on here and I talk. I get on here and I talk to you guys and I kind of say what my thoughts are, what my theories are, all of that fun stuff. And so that's what we're going to do. But before we get to that point, what I do want to say is I do not want to discuss, I do not want to hear, I do not want to see anything that has to do with my prior place of sharing space. That's what I'll say. Those that understand, understand. Those that don't, don't. If you don't understand it, please PM me and I will definitely explain it to you in a better tone um, without incriminating myself. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to know what's going on. I don't want to know what's happening. I don't want to know anything because I don't care. I wish everybody the best. I wish everybody prosperity, love, kindness, all of that stuff. I just I don't care. I am doing my own thing and I am moving on. I am opening Soul Weaver Alchemy into its own brick and mortar. It already has been open for 3 years, but I am opening it in its own brick and mortar and transforming it into what I want it to be, what I want to see in the community. That is what I am doing. As far as what the space that I shared before did or does, I don't care. Anybody that's there, I don't care. Anybody that's doing anything there, I don't care. Don't care. Okay. So I just wanted to get that completely off of my shoulders. Sun is shining really bright today. I am taking my power back. I am letting go of any restrictions, any cords, any connection, anything. I'm done with it. I want nothing to do with it. Love you guys. I appreciate you supporting me. I appreciate you coming at me. I appreciate you sending me whatever you're sending me. It's done. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want nothing to do with it. Okay. On to bigger, better, awesome. Yay. Congrats. All the fun things. Here we go. So, with that, almost 3 minutes in, a lot of people have been asking me to talk about the Grammys last night. It's all over fucking social media. Excuse my language. Strike that. It's all over social media. It's all over the internet. It is anywhere and everywhere possibly that it can be. And what do I do when this happens? From the can't even think of it now, the Jeffrey Dahmer series that was on and I did a video on it, from things that presently go on in my life with my practice, from things that I deal with on a regular basis, you know, all the controversy, all the things. Okay. So I'm just going to give you my 2 cents and my take on what I perceived, okay, on what I saw. I did not watch it. I didn't even know the Grammys was going on last night until this morning. I got up and it was all over my feed. It was all over the internet. It was all over YouTube. It was freaking everywhere. And what I will say to start is that song I've not really cared for. I felt like something was very uncomfortable in it. Every time I would hear it come on, I would change it. Something just felt off. Now, I will tell you that when it first came on and it was first on the charts and all the fun stuff and it was the conversation piece, whatever, I did listen to it. And at first I was kind of drawn to it. At first I thought, wow, that's different and that's interesting. And I'm kind of drawn to it. And then as I think the second time I heard it, something just didn't resonate. Something felt off. Something felt very uncomfortable about the song. And so I just didn't listen to it anymore. If it would come on when my daughter and I were in the car, we both discussed it. Just wasn't our thing. Just wasn't something that we really cared for. I mean, it had a kind of cool beat, but it just wasn't my thing. So, with the unfolding of what happened last night, let's talk about it. We literally know that everything has to do with an intention, right? And there's so many different things. If you watch the video, if you watch that little excerpt from the Grammys, there's so many different things in it. It's not even funny.
That shit is trash.
I'm trying to decide where I want to start from. From the colors to the sound to what you visually see to the words that were written on the screen to the cage to the circle to the light to the red to the eyes on Sam Smith. Could it all have been visual presentation? Absolutely. Could it have all been staged? Oh yeah, 100%. But what I will say blatantly right in front of everybody's face, that's what I'll say, is blatantly that was put in front of everybody's face, and it was put there for a reason. Do I think that it's trying to cause what it's doing today? 100%. I can't even think of it right now. Soundtrack community, the record producer, there we go. Record producers, thank you. The record producers, they had a reason to do what they did. I also think it's very interesting that it was hosted and it was not produced, but it was, I can't even think of the word right now. I'm kind of blank on some things because I'm just blown away that I'm not really blown away that this happened, because they do it on the Grammys every year, and then they try to push a little bit further and see how far they can get. Correspondents, producers, whatever you want to call it, was Pfizer. I find that to be very interesting too. A pharmaceutical company that definitely plays a huge role in our past 2 years. I think that's very interesting as well. I think it's interesting that there was so much red. I think it's interesting that the way that it very first began was with a circle. I think it's very interesting the notes that's used in the song. Let's talk about that, shall we? So I went in and researched, and I work with numerology. Some will find this some will find this informational. Some will say this is bullshit. This is just another stupid bullshit scam of her trying to get attention, whatever. And so I'm going to shut it off. And to you, kudos. Because in a way, maybe it is a smidge just way for me to talk with you guys and network with you guys and build my forum. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, what I looked up was the sound of the music is very different. I noticed that the sound of the music is unlike what we normally hear, right? And I play a lot with frequency and sound therapy. I work a lot with those things. And so I looked up what the difference was with this song than there was with other songs. And they used, and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Phrygian dominant frequency. So I looked up what Phrygian dominant frequency means, because it's different. It's actually a lower frequency that they use, where they go up a little bit, then they come back down, then they go up a little bit, then they come back down, then they go up a little bit, then they come back down. As above, so below. They just kind of go back and forth with the frequency, okay? Kind of like you're ascending, then you're coming back down. Then you're ascending, then you're coming back down. Thank you, Spirit. So the interesting thing about ascending and then coming back down is literally what we're doing the whole time in our life, is trying to climb the ladder, and then we fall back, and then we climb the ladder, and then we fall back, and then we climb the ladder and we fall back. In the Phrygian dominant frequency, what they do is they use the tone, they use 2, 3, 6, and 7. If you take 2 and 3 and you add it up, you get 5. You take 6 and 7, you get 13. You add 5 and 13 together, you get 18. 18 means bondage. If you look it up, stay with me. If you look it up in the Bible, it means bondage in multiple different areas of the Bible. It's under Judges 3, 12, 14, 10, 7, and 8. It means bondage. And every place that you look in the Bible, it means bondage. It means some way of being bound to something that is allowing it to take over. Now, I think it's very interesting that you actually look into this. If you actually look into this, Sam Smith has bondage gear on in the video. He has leather on, which very binding, very, very tightening of the source of the soul. I also think it's very interesting that he went with very latexy type stuff that doesn't, it restricts, it doesn't give much leeway, it doesn't give much give. I also think it's interesting that in the video, there's a lot of bondage type gear that's used in his outfits. There's so much subliminal in the video. There's so much subliminal in the song. There's so much subliminal in the performance last night, if you actually look at it. We know what circles represent. They represent ritual. It 100% opened with ritual. Do I have a problem with ritual? No. It's all about intention. It is the way that it is used. The other thing that my daughter and I talked about, which I thought was very interesting, and I'll share because she's a lot like me and she has no issue with saying it. I talked to my kids because my son had watched it. He came in, we spoke about it like we did with the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. We spoke about it and everything. And at first he thought it was completely okay. Didn't think it was a problem. He said, yeah, I watched it and I didn't really get too much from it. And I said, you honestly can tell me that you didn't get anything from it. You didn't see that there was anything wrong with it whatsoever. While looking at it on a 15-year-old standpoint, no, it was all show, right? Like a horror movie or, something like that. Like it was just entertainment purposes, right? And I'm seeing a lot of people say that. I'm seeing a lot of people say, well, this is bullshit. People are really taking this out of context and they're putting something into what it shouldn't be and they're putting a fear base into it. In some cases, fear definitely should be what it is. Fear equals awareness in some cases. Some cases, we definitely should fear something. Fear losing our rights. Fear losing our sacred self. Fear losing our soul. And honestly, to tell you the truth, in that performance, that's 100% what I thought was going on. I thought that Sam Smith was losing his soul. There's two different things going on in that performance. You all can think I'm crazy all you want. I don't care. This is what I do. My hair would show me that I'm fucking crazy today. And I'll tell you right now that in that performance, there's two things that it shows. There's the cage where it looks like somebody is being held against their will. There is Sam Smith, who is in the circle. And if you look at his eyes, they're white. Then they turn black. Then they turn white. The balance between the light and the dark. You also can see where the circle is red and then there's light that comes up out of it at one point and then it goes back down. It's almost like there's a portal that's being opened right in front of us. 100%. You've got at the very beginning of the video where it looks like he's coming up out. I can't remember if he's coming up out of the circle or not, but you've got all the people that are circling around him, dancing. I do some of this stuff. So I know what some of it is, and I know what it means to open a portal. I mean, I'll admit it, I do. When we work with a lot of the esoteric work that we do, that's 100% accessing the other side of the veil. That's 100% accessing things that most people don't access. I will admit to that. Yes, absolutely. Because you have to. In order to do some of this work, we have to access things that the normal narrative would not be about. And so when there's that circle there, yes, absolutely. That is them creating space. That is them dancing around said thing in the center, right? That circle represents an opening. I 100% think that last night was a ritualistic work. Of Sam Smith showing him selling his soul. 100%. I think that it's also a way to show anybody that was watching the awards that it's okay and that we can do it and it's not a big deal. I think it is a narrative that is being created to manipulate and to turn people in a certain direction. Yes, 100%. I think that's possible. I think that's 100% a possibility. And I really didn't play into it or take it into context that much until I really started researching that sound, that frequency, something. So I had to look into it. And so I think it's the idea of the ascension and then coming back down, the ascension and then coming back down. I think that when you look at the number 18, and this I thought was interesting too, you look at the number 18. You look at the number 18, And the number 18 in an angelic sense supposedly is supposed to mean good luck. It's supposed to mean a new path. It's supposed to mean a new journey. It's supposed to mean a new life. Well, once again, that would be representative of what they showed last night. But if you take 8 and 1 and you put it together and it creates 9, 9 is kind of the number of God. 6 is the number of the devil, supposedly, and 9 is the number of God, right? The yin and the yang, masculine and the feminine, the divine, the more nurturing, mothering side, and then also the masculine, aggressive component of it. So the white and the dark, the white and the black of the eyes, balance, trying to find the light in the dark, and then at the very end, the dark totally consuming him. You've got to remember that every single thing that they're showing us in our faces, 100% has an actual idea, has an actual theme. These people aren't just doing this crap for nothing. You also got to remember that the musical community is putting shit into our head. It's we're hearing it, we're seeing it, we're feeling it, and they know how to do it. They know how to blatantly, right in front of our faces, do this stuff, especially with those that don't have any clue and don't have any idea, and they go, oh, that's a really good beat. Man, that sounds really cool. As you're saying, wow, that sounds really cool, literally it's getting into your frequency. It's literally coming into your auric space. It's literally coming into the inside of you and changing everything about you, which is kind of what that performance showed last night. 100%. It's what that performance showed last night. I think it originally in the video, it shows him with white on at one point, and then it shows him with red on at one point. Well, red can represent many things. It represents the root chakra. It can represent passion. It can represent balance. It can represent centering. It can represent all these different things. But it also can represent aggression and violence and anger and all of those things too, right? Which are violent. They're evil. They're demonic. And for anybody that doesn't think demons exist, well, I got news for you. You better figure that crap out right away, because they do. Do I recommend watching it? No. And if you do, please clear yourself afterwards. If you want to watch it after you watch this, just to see what I'm talking about, go ahead. Just make sure you clear yourself afterwards. Make sure you don't allow yourself to really absorb, or make sure that if you do watch it, you go, oh, okay, and then you do some clearing afterwards. So that way you're clearing your space, even your ears afterwards. You'll want to clear, just because even when the song comes on, it's changing your energy. It's manipulating the energy inside of you. So definitely pay attention to it. I think it's also very interesting that when I was looking up the sound frequency, that there was another performer who has become very big that also uses the Phrygian dominant frequency in her music as well. And no, it's not the performer that was with him in the awards performance last night. It was a different performer. And I actually don't mind some of her music. I actually like some of her music, but a lot of them are the same. They're using their music in negative ways to manipulate and control the collective and control the community. Now, the other thing that I think is really interesting about all of this, and this is where I'll leave, this is where I'll stop. This is where I'll stop doing the conspiracy theorist bullshit and trying to talk to you guys and all that crap, right? The fear-based concept, whatever. The other thing that I will finish with, I lost my train of thought there for a minute, that I will finish with all of this is, where was I going with this? Oh, I just lost it. Must not have been that important. Because we were talking about the music, we were talking about the sound, we were talking about manipulation. Oh, I think it had something to do with the fact. I think it had something to do with the fact that music plays a huge role in us, and how it affects our soul, and how it affects us, how it clears us, how it cleanses us, which is why sound therapy works. And the different frequencies play a huge role in us and our DNA makeup and helping us heal and all kinds of different things like that. But the Phrygian dominant frequency is used in a lot of heavy metal music. It's used, which I don't have an issue with heavy metal music to a certain degree. I will say that performance, sound, all of those different things play a huge role in how that music affects us in a good way, positive way, or in a negative way. And the Phrygian dominant frequency, I think the music producers and stuff are starting to use more, and they're using it for a negative connotation. They're using it for a negative intention. To affect the collective. Oh, I also think it's interesting. This is where I was going. Thank you, Spirit. Excuse me. Goodness. I'm drinking some digestive tea, and it's got me. Well, I'm also channeling right now, so when I channel, I belch a lot because it's allowing me to get rid of things out of my solar plexus without holding on to it, and then I don't get sick. That's a whole other thing if anybody's interested in that. But it's a way for our body to disperse energy that we don't need, allow us to get rid of things that we don't need before we take it in and absorb it and digest it, and it causes toxic negativity in her. Anyways, though, I think it's very interesting that the Grammys was on last night, and that a couple days ago we had some weird shit happen with some balloon that was floating above, and that was what everybody was talking about, and that was what was all over the internet. And then all of a sudden we have this last night, and everybody's talking about this now, and this is the main focus. And now we're not talking about China anymore. Now we're not talking about this balloon that just hovers over a certain area and is picking up knowledge and information from America. I think it's very interesting too. I also think it's very interesting, one, that Pfizer was part of the network that was sponsoring, that was sponsoring the Grammys last night. I also think it's very interesting, just a lot of the different things that went on with the Grammys, without going into some of the other things that I watched on YouTube and stuff, some of the people that I follow and everything. Hell, I even watched a tarot reader that did a reading on Sam Smith and whether it's okay to listen to his music now opposed to before, because before he was a completely different person. And what they said about it. And even the tarot reader was saying it was bad juju and it was not a good idea. So for those that think tarot can be demonic and everything, yeah, it's all about intention. It 100% can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can be used for good as well. Just like what I'm doing can be used for good as well. What we are doing can be used for good as well. There was something that I had posted last night about the chakras and the Bible, and I'm going to look into that more. I will be doing a video on that as well, to kind of discuss that once I learn a little bit more. But what I will say on that aspect is, you know what, I'm not even going to go into that yet. I'm going to wait on that because that's a whole nother ball of wax that I'm not going to go in today. I think I've done enough with the controversial aspect of it, from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. So watch your eyes, watch your ears, watch your mouth, watch your energy. Watch all of it. Watch what you take in. Watch what you listen to. Watch what you eat. Physically and spiritually, watch what you eat. Emotionally, watch what you eat. Because if you didn't know, even if you're not physically eating it, in so many other ways are you taking it in. And it can definitely be causing issue for you. Thank you for everybody that reached out about the video yesterday. I am good. I am fine. I do these videos from time to time. The reason I'm a hot mess right now and the reason I look like a hot mess right now is because I've been very busy. I've been very doing stuff with my body that I don't normally do, painting and remodeling and doing all the things. And so I'm just a little exhausted presently, but I'll be all right. I got to remember I've been doing sessions while I've been remodeling the store. So yeah, so in the process of doing that, I've been doing both at the same time, and so I'm fine. I'm doing very, very well. We still plan to launch in March, and there's beautiful things being done right now, from beautiful, amazing system being put in to mural being done on the wall, and collaborations that are coming together, and seeing people just hang out down there by the building without it even being open yet is 100% beautiful to see. So beyond blessed. But I just wanted to hop on here and kind of put my 2 cents in and tell y'all what I think. 100%, I think that it was a cry for help. That's the other thing that I will say is, if you really listen to a lot of these artists' music, in some cases, they really are crying for help. They really are telling you, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be a part of this, but the musical record companies and the producers and stuff have already got such a stronghold on them because of the money and the fame and the success that they're too far in and they can't get out. And so they either ride the horse and go into it, into the darkness, or they die. Which we've seen a lot with musicians, right? That they OD or they commit suicide or all the things. In a lot of cases, I don't think they do. I think there's a lot more to it. I think there's a lot more involved in a lot of that, but that's just me being a conspiracy theorist yet again, which I 100% will take that title because I am. It's funny because I've had some people, even my son, that comes at me with that, well, you're just being a conspiracy theorist. And I'm like, I'd rather be a conspiracy theorist than a freaking sheep. I'd rather be a conspiracy theorist than somebody that's completely blindsided by everything that's going on presently in our collective. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with knowing the truth. It's not a fun bus to ride, but once again, at the end of the day, it's the one that I want to be on. So I love all you guys, and hopefully you find something in this video. If you don't, and you just want to say this is bullshit and you don't want to be a part of it, then please don't. For those that don't really follow my work or don't really have anything to do with it and 100% are still just following my page because of my modeling stuff that I used to do, or still are following my page because of the pretty face that I have up there on my cover story or cover photo or whatever, unfriend me. I need room for people that need help. I need room for people that need to wake up. I need room for people that need to be able to find their faith, that need to be able to find the light, that need to be able to find all the things. I don't need people on there that want to say, you know, oh, there's so many people on this forum, or so many people on these comments that are in fear. Just do me a favor and unfriend me, because I ain't got time for it. Just like I ain't got time for all the drama, I ain't got time for the salty comments, I ain't got time for all of the negative shit being projected towards me. I don't got time for any of it, and I don't want it in my life. I have so much to do and so many people to help. I ain't got time for it. Or I'm sorry, take that back. So many people to help themselves. I ain't got time for it. I just don't. So if, you know, you get on there and you see what we're talking about and stuff and you disagree, you have the right to disagree. But if you're not going to have anything good to say on the forum at all, or anything good to say on the comments at all, then just unfriend me. Like, seriously, if I lose 1,000 friends today, that just means 1,000 more can fill your space. And I got plenty of people that want to follow. I got plenty of people that want the guidance and want help or want to share with me. It's not even about me helping them. It's not even about me giving them guidance. I need guidance from them. So seriously, sayonara, get off. Like, just remove yourself. Like, I'm good with that. I'm totally fine with that. That's why I don't give a shit what my hair looks like. I don't care if I haven't washed it for a couple days. I don't care if it still has paint in it. I just don't care. Like, I need to just dread this crap and then be done with it. That way I don't gotta wash it no more. I don't gotta do, well, I gotta wash it still, but I don't gotta do anything with it, because I just don't care. I really don't. It is a hot mess today. It kind of had a cute little thing going on over here, and then it just fell. I need to get it trimmed, but I don't know who to go get it trimmed by. So I don't know. Anyways, though, guys, I love you so much, and thank you for listening to my yammering, and thank you for listening to my stupid videos when I post these. When Spirit tells me, hey, get on there and do a video, or hey, do this. I've had a couple of them. Apparently one of them is a redneck or hillbilly. I've had a couple videos that I needed to do, but then I forget what they are, and then I lose track of them, and then I don't get to doing them. It's usually when I'm in session with people and we're talking, and I'm like, oh, I should do a video on that. Oh, I should talk about that. So I'm definitely going to start carrying a tablet of paper around with me. And when this stuff comes up and I get a message, I'm just going to have to write it down and be like, oh yeah, I need to do a video about that later. Yeah. Believe me, when you guys listen to this and you watch all of this, because I don't even remember half the shit I just said, because it wasn't me. yeah, remember to look up some of this stuff. So if you don't believe me, look into Phrygian dominant frequency. Look up the number 18 and look it up biblically. Or in that context, don't look it up angelically, because sometimes the angel numbers are being manipulated and they're not used the way they are. You got to remember that light and dark, you got to remember that the idea of dark, right, wants the light. It's going to do everything it can to get the light. And so even for those that are drawn towards synchronicity, even for those that are drawn towards those numbers, 3 through 3, 12, 12, 12, 11, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of those numbers, once they figure out that we are gravitating towards that, they're going to try and grab a hold of it too. Dark is going to try and grab a hold of whatever it can and manipulate it into the dark. So if it's something light, it's going to take a hold of it and it's going to try and manipulate it into dark. Why? Because that's what it's always done. It's always taken things and it's always flipped them around. Even the idea of Christianity, even the idea of religion, it has taken it and flipped it around. You can even see that going on last night in the Grammys. And if you actually look at what the two people that are the main focus right now that did that performance last night, if you actually listen to some of the things that they said, and I'm just going to say that, I'm not going to go into it, but if you look into some of the things that they said, it will make sense to you, because you'll read it and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, it could have been staged, preparing everybody for what the dramatic entertainment that they were going to put on last night, 100%, but it's all part of it. I also will tell you that on Twitter, there was comments that were made after said musician said something about how crazy last night's performance was going to be. There was a certain network, CBS, I do believe, that actually came on and said, it's time to go worship. Tell me what the hell that means if you don't think that there wasn't some bigger narrative in last night's performance. That's not fear. That's just opening your damn eyes and looking at what's really going on. Opening your damn eyes and seeing it for what you're seeing. But when you do that, make sure that you're not closing the eye to all the other shitstorm that's going on right now. All the other things that are going on behind the scenes that are being shown to us in clear freaking broad daylight. Because all that's going on too. So make sure that you're paying attention to all of that while you're allowing yourself to see all of this as well. There's an awakening that's going on right now, guys. It's been going on, and it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And the idea of dark, evil, whatever you want to call it, knows it. We play this role, we do this shit about every so many months when dark loses a hold and it has to get it back. When dark says, whoa, wait a minute, some people aren't listening, some people aren't following, well, we got to figure out something to create that narrative so that way it pulls them back in. It's the same exact thing. So just be mindful, pay attention, have your eyes open. You'll see it. As I sit here and drink out of this coffee cup, the wisdom from above is pure. Oh, anyways, James 3:17. Anyways, guys, I am going to let you go because my dog is starting to bark and ruin my video. Leave him be. It's just people walking down the street. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, I'm glad that you enjoy these. I'm glad that I keep these as real as possible. Probably half the time why I'm not wearing a bra doing them and why my hair is a hot ass mess. Because if I was to get all dolled up and put fake eyelashes on and do my lipstick and put my makeup on, I don't do all that anymore. But if I was to do that stuff again, it would take me so long to do that. And then I would lose what I wanted to tell you guys. And I want it to be as pure as possible. I don't want it to be fake. I want it to be pure and genuine. And so that's why I do these videos when I get the call. And that's why it doesn't make any difference what I look like in them. Because I know this is who I am. Yeah, I can make myself look really darn hot and pretty and all those fun things, but then there's sometimes, you know what, like, I just don't care. I just don't care. Even the faces I make in these videos, I love them. Because that's me. That's who I am. That's just who I am. So, all right, I'm done. 100%, almost at 35 minutes. I am completely done. Hopefully this video serves you well. Hopefully it resonates. If it doesn't, that's okay too. For those that it does resonate with, I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear you tell me whether I am batshit crazy and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, or whether what you guys saw, what you guys feel. You know, even if it's just the song. and you don't watch the performance, or you do watch the performance on video, please just tell me what you saw. I like us to network on here and to talk and to see what I can find. See what you guys think, and what you, because we're, that's what we are, right? We're all one thing together as a whole. So it's interesting to come together and talk about these things and see everybody else's perspective on it. So love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.